Hey guys, Talia here for Work Week Lunch, and today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of takeout and homemade food. So I love this takeout versus meal prep example because takeout is actually what inspired me to start meal prepping in the first place. I would go to these restaurants on my lunch break and kind of just look at the food and wonder if I could really make it at home for cheaper. And I was right. So that's kind of how I got my start with meal prep in the first place. So I'm really excited to get into it today. So in today's example, we have beef and broccoli, which is a very common takeout dish. I order all the time. Well, I used to order all the time in Chinese restaurants. Now I prefer to make it at home. So let's get into the pros and cons of takeout. So takeout is convenient, fast, and easy. You can walk into any shop and just order what you want and leave, and it's like just like having a personal chef, except you have to go to the chef. It's usually cheaper than a restaurant meal. This beef and broccoli was $7.50, so that's going to be cheaper than your average sit-down meal with waiter service. And you can decide what you want in the moment. If you work somewhere where there are a lot of takeout options around you, or if there's a place you like to go with lots of items on the menu, you have options. You can choose meals based on what you're in the mood for. And of course, takeout is a filling, satisfying, totally viable option for a meal, whether you're trying to be healthy or not. There's nothing wrong with it. So some of the cons. Buying it every day can get boring. I mean, too much of anything can get boring. And you do have to wait in line. I personally hate waiting in line. I cannot stand it. I feel like it's such a waste of time. Also, it's not even an enjoyable situation to be in. So I prefer not having to wait in line. That's one of the bummers. I don't know about where you live, but in Manhattan, sometimes a line for certain takeout places can go around the block. You have to wait like 30 minutes just to get your order. Then you have to wait another 15 minutes to actually get the food, and your whole lunch break is over. You don't even have time to eat it and enjoy it. Also, buying it every day can add up. $7.50 for one meal. If you buy that every day for a week, or if you're buying lunch and dinner out every day, that can really add up to a very high food bill at the end of the month. Also, there is lots of waste. Look at this. I got a plastic bag. Got a paper bag, this little guy, and more plastic that I can't even reuse this plastic. This is not reusable. Don't try and use this as a meal prep container. It's not safe to reheat. Also, there is no control over what's in it. You cannot customize that. You just get what they want to give you. You don't know what's in it. You don't know where they got the ingredients from. You don't know what's in the sauce, what oils they use. If you have allergies, this can be a huge problem. I don't have allergies, so I'm lucky, but I'm sure it can be a nightmare. And personally, I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't make me feel good. Eating takeout makes me feel really heavy and sluggish, sometimes a little greasy inside, if that makes sense. Again, it's a totally viable option for a meal, but it's not my first choice because of how I feel after, especially in the workday. That can be really detrimental to your workflow. So those are the cons of takeout. To me, personally, takeout isn't worth it. It's not something that is enjoyable every day. Of course, now every now and then, we probably get delivery once a week. It's usually sushi. But if I had to do it every day, I would not look forward to it. So that's just my position on takeout. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, so now let's talk about the pros and cons of meal prep. So meal prep is still convenient, fast, and easy after it's been cooked, of course. And there's a cheaper cost per meal. I spent $7.50 on the beef and broccoli. This individual meal is at $4.50, and the ingredients for 3 of these cost $13. So that's pretty good. There's less waste involved. This is a reusable meal prep container, and I pretty much used up all the ingredients that I had for this meal, and everything I didn't use up is non-perishable, so it just sits in my pantry and fridge. Also, no wait. It takes about 2 minutes to reheat a meal prep, so I love that. I don't have to wait in line unless there is a line for the microwave, but I love being able to just pop it out of the fridge, put it in the microwave, and 2 minutes later, I'm eating. It's kind of magical. Also, you can control every aspect of what's in the meal, from the ingredients you use, to the oils, to how it's cooked, the flavors, how spicy it is. You control everything. And also the portion size, which we didn't talk about in the pros and cons of takeout, but you get to control how much is in the meal if that is something you want to, control. And of course, it makes me feel great. When I know what's in the food and when I'm cooking with ingredients that make me feel good, after the meal, I don't feel like I've eaten a rock, and I actually can just move on with my day without feeling sleepy and greasy and stuff. So that's why I choose meal prep over takeout. But of course, nothing's perfect. There are cons. You have to actually spend the time cooking. So, meal prep takes me 2 to 3 hours every weekend, and I'm cooking usually 4 different recipes, so it can be a lot. And not everyone wants to do that. I totally understand. Also, there is a commitment to the meals that you're prepping. So you can't really be as spontaneous unless you are wasting what you've cooked by throwing it out. So that's another con. You have to kind of commit to what you've prepped. Of course, it is in a way less authentic. I can't make the beef and broccoli from the Chinese restaurant exactly how they make it at home with what's available to me. Yes, I could go all out and go to a Chinese supermarket and figure it out, but most of us are just not really going to put in the time to do that for meal prep. So in a way, it is less authentic. I don't know if that's really a con. It's kind of just like a neutral fact, but it's part of it. And of course, meal prep is dependent on your cooking abilities. If you're not a great cook and you have to commit to the meals you've prepped, you might not have an enjoyable as experience because you're just not a good cook yet and you need to practice. So that's also a con. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to your priorities. Some people would rather not spend 2 to 3 hours on a weekend, in order to save time and eat healthier throughout the week. I totally get that. It's a lot of energy to spend on just cooking a bunch of meals. You have to plan, grocery shop, and actually do the cooking and cleanup. It's a lot of work. To me, the payoff is pretty huge because I don't have to worry about food when I'm really busy in the middle of my work week, rushing around to meetings or just kind of being busy. And for me, the main priority has always been to spend less money on food so I can spend more money on what's important to me, which is like fun stuff, travel, and of course savings. You can actually try making takeout inspired meals at home. You can head over to workweeklunch.com. I have a lot of free recipes that are takeout inspired. They're some of my most popular and easiest to do. You can also check out some other videos I have here on my channel. I have some super easy stir fries and sheet pan meals that are takeout inspired. So that's definitely a great place to start. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this has been helpful. If you've been wondering about meal prep, wondering if it's worth it, wondering if takeout is really better than meal prep, I hope that this video has helped you get a little closer to that decision. And if you like this, I hope you subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, and if you have any thoughts or anything you want to add, drop a comment below. I will answer. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.